Welcome in to Ernest Rigetti High School for the 2023 Strawberry Bowl. Alongside Terry Veal, I'm CJ Silas, bringing you Strawberry Bowl coverage, the first meeting between your Allen Hancock College Bulldogs and the Olympians of San Diego Mesa College. And you never know as the regular season is going on, Terry, whether your team is going to get to a bowl game or not, especially this season going from 5 league contests to 7. So you really didn't know. And we were waiting until after the selection meetings early last week to find out. And here we are at Rigetti High School under the lights on a beautiful night for college football.
And what a gorgeous night for college football, because if you'd have said in June, on the 20th of November, we're going to have a game, I wouldn't have bet you to have it look like this.
It's amazing.
That's why we live here.
And it is the 21st of November, so if you have to be somewhere on the 20th, you've already missed it. Yeah.
I'm late.
These are two teams that have some solid numbers between them, Terry. I've got the Southern League leaders in front of me, and James Odom, who is the quarterback for the Olympians, is number 5 in the Southern League standings with 154.3 yards per game. He's tied for third with 18 touchdowns on the season. Rushing touchdowns, the team is tied for fourth. Tavion Tate is the guy. He's got 5 touchdowns. Receiving yards per game, Kadir Diop, he's got, he falls in at 6 at 62.4. And receiving TDs for the Olympians, tied for fourth with 6 touchdowns. And then when you look at the Northern League stats, which we'll get to in a minute, overwhelmingly, the Bulldogs are leading the way.
Yes, and in order for San Diego to have a chance here, they're going to have to contain the running game that the Bulldogs have, because if you look at total yards gained by Mesa in rushing, 800, and the Bulldogs almost 3,000.
And the reason you see that in the Northern League, number 1 in rushing yards per game is the Bulldogs' own Caden Harris, 129.3 yards per game. And Ferrari Busby comes in at number 7 with 50.8 yards per game. Touchdowns, rushing, Caden Harris again, number 1 in the entire league. He's got 17 touchdowns. John Allen comes in at number 4 with 6, and Ferrari Busby comes in at number 5 with 4 touchdowns. Passing not as dominant for the Bulldogs in Northern League play. 8th in the Northern League, Jackson Clavel with 100.8 yards per game and touchdowns. He comes in at 6th in the Northern League, and Jackson Clavel has 9 touchdowns. Defensively, the Bulldogs are 5th in the Northern League with Mike Mills, who has 7, and he hasn't even played a full season. And coming in at 8th is Keyshawn Pua with 6 sacks. The Bulldogs in the lead, number 1, Darian Prothro with 9 sacks, and number 6, Ezekiel Siumalo with 4.5. Last year, this same Strawberry Bowl, but it was at home on the campus of the Bulldogs because it was a day game. It was a 1 o'clock kickoff.
During the day.
And Moore Park came in to take on the Bulldogs, and it was overtime before Hancock won it 20-17. The Bulldogs are now coming onto the field to a rousing applause by the crowd here at Rigetti High. 3 bowl wins in the past 5 years for the Allen Hancock College football team. So there is a lot, when you look at numbers, that looks like maybe that the Bulldogs might be in the lead. But remember, they're coming from 2 different leagues. San Diego Mesa from the south, the Bulldogs from the north. They've never played before, so we really don't know what this game is going to look like when it comes to competition. They've played a few of the same opponents, but not many over the years because of the different leagues. This week, the Allen Hancock College postseason awards came out. 15 all-league honors. Rick Aguilar, the co-coach of the year. Caden Harris, we are speaking of him, the Offensive Player of the Year in the Northern League. First team All-League as well. Leo Togia, Saipale, Fui Meono, Joey Garza, AJ Masunu, offensive first team All-League. And then Darian Prothro, Keyshawn Pua, Trent Kimmel, Makai Puga, all on the first team defensively All-League. 15 members of this Bulldog squad. And the thing is, this team got better as the season progressed, which is what you hope and want, but it doesn't always work out that way. It did this year.
Let's hope they peaked right now. Right now. We have a coin toss. San Diego won the toss, and guess what? They deferred to receive in the second half.
But look, they're deferring.
We're kicking off.
Yeah. San Diego Mesa is receiving in the first half. There you go. So San Diego Mesa won, and they are giving the Bulldogs.
Right.
In this, didn't we just talk about how this never happens, and it's happened twice?
Until now.
The Olympians are wearing their Pittsburgh Steelers style uniforms with their bright yellow pants, black jersey numbers with the white jerseys, and black helmets with a white stripe. Your Bulldogs are wearing their Dodger blue jerseys, gold pants, gold numbers with the white helmets. And here we are once again, Terry Veal, CJ Silas bringing you all the play-by-play. A beautiful night for a college football game on a Tuesday. And Aroth Acosta with the kick. It bounces at the 33-yard line, and one of the Olympians decides he's going to go for it, and he is tripped up pretty quickly.
Danny Davis picked it up at about the 30 and fell forward for about 5 yards.
Gary Watkins, head coach of the Olympians, coming in his sixth season. They are 6-4 overall this year, 4-3 in Southern League play. And offensively, they've moved it around a lot between running, passing, and quarterbacks for San Diego Mesa. So we will see they will start a 1st and 10 from their own 39. And from the shotgun, it looks like it is James Odom, the sophomore, with the start. And right away, he hands it off to Davis. Danny Davis, San Pasqual High School out of San Diego. 58 carries coming into the game. He's a freshman, 6'1", 6 foot, 220. One of the bigger backs that we'll see this season for the Bulldogs.
And Darion Prothro was in on the tackle, which is why he's one of the leading tacklers on the team.
4-yard gain on the play, 2nd and 6 for the Olympians. Odom in the backfield. One back. And he's dropping back. He wants to pass. He's got a little time rolling to his right. Decides to keep it, crosses midfield, gets a first down, still moving. Odom isn't tackled until the 39-yard line. What a run by the quarterback. He has 68 carries this season, 186 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 fumbles.
And that was not a planned play. He didn't have a receiver.
He looked, he tried. He tried to find someone he couldn't, and he decided to run it, and he succeeded. And it's a 1st and 10 now from the Bulldog 39. From the shot, this time he gives it to Davis. I almost fell for the fake, but I didn't. It was a pretty good one. I do fall for them, I'm not going to lie.
Keyshawn Pua made the tackle for the
surprise. Keyshawn Pua, 34 tackles, 26 assists. The local from Nipomo, the sophomore.
Gain of 2, 2nd and 8.
Odom looking to the sidelines to get some calls from Gary Watkins, who's also the offensive coordinator for the Olympians. Brian, when you have a minute at a timeout, I want you to show the viewers the sunset happening over our left shoulder. Davis, he's still on his feet, but there is a flag around the 39-yard line, right around the line of scrimmage. If this is against the Bulldogs, they might deny it because, who knows, could have been a first down. We'll see if they decline the penalty.
Jeff Simeon made the tackle. It is going to be against San Diego.
So though they could have had a first down, it's going to be against the Olympians. That'll take them back. A 10-yard penalty. 2nd
looks like
and
about
18. No score here early. Strawberry Bowl 2023, a Tuesday night football game on the Central Coast. No better place to be. I mean, seriously.
Where else would you
Come
rather
on,
be?
Thanksgiving this week, all the yummies. I had a baseball game today and yesterday at Hancock. Odom drops back. He's in trouble, decides to run, gets across the original line of scrimmage, slides near the 30, and I don't know if it will be enough for a first down, but nice run by the quarterback.
That was a planned play. That was a quarterback draw from the get-go. It's not going to be enough. Bring up a 3rd and 3.
And once again, another one of the successful and dominant defensive players for the Bulldogs. Jatavius Franklin makes the tackle, the sophomore out of Century, Florida. It a 3rd and 3 from the Bulldog 32. So far, it's just been Odom and Davis offensively for the Olympians. Odom keeps it again, runs right up the middle. It looks like he's got enough for an Olympian first down.
Interesting that they're keeping it on the ground as much as they are. With the stats coming into this game, you would not have thought they were going to run the ball this much this early.
San Diego Mesa with a first down. Did you get the sunset? Did you? He's going to get it real quick, Brian. Just show the sunset. Look at that. Come on. Look at the palm tree, perfectly placed. Brian planted that earlier today for his shot. 1st and 10 from the Bulldog 28. Odom and Davis in the backfield. Odom not afraid to run. Davis finds a hole on the left side, crosses the 25, still running, and pushed down near the sideline by Adarius Odom.
Well, they contained the defensive line pretty well and let him get outside.
And that was Santiago Salas, the running back, carrying the ball for the first time today. Freshman from San Diego. 3 wide receivers on the far side. 2nd and 6. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a pass here, Derry Veal. This time it is Odom, all alone and open. DeJour Paget on the near side. Looks like he's got enough for a first down too, Terry.
Yeah, and he was way too open. Somebody missed an assignment on that one.
So I hope it was DeJour Paget because we have 3 different guys with number 11 on the the roster that we got.
Well, that's the roster I have.
Okay, good. We also had John Carroll. We have Anthony Gillispin, but I think I'm confident it's DeJour Paget. 1st and 10 from the 13. Odom again, setting up in the shotgun, talking to his line of scrimmage. 3 wide receivers on the far side. No score early. This time another pass play, once again to Paget for another gain. Almost another first down, probably a little short.
Well, they set up their passing game real well by running 50 yards of running game and then opening up the passes. And that little post pattern has worked 2 times in a row.
This time it looks like Tavian Tate. Gives it to Tate. He does a little zigzag movement, still on his feet. Near the goal line, but definitely not in the end zone.
Yeah, it's going to be enough for a first down, though.
Tavian Tate, not only is he a running back, but he also plays some defense and does a little bit of work on special teams as well. He's at a Rouse High School in Leander, Texas, one of the furthest traveled on this Olympian squad, the sophomore. It is a first down, 1st and goal from the 2-yard line. He finds a hole, and he's into the end zone for a San Diego Mesa College touchdown.
Fumble.
The official had already called a touchdown and said he was down on the near side. First points on the board for the Olympians of San Diego Mesa. Six nothing Olympians. Mauricio Escuero, the sophomore, comes in. He's 25 of 26 in extra points. That one's up. And it is good. It's 7-0 San Diego Mesa. You're listening to Bulldog Football at ahcbulldogs.com. Welcome back to Rigetti High School. It's the 2023 Strawberry Bowl. The Hancock Bulldogs hosting the San Diego Mesa Olympians, and San Diego gets on the board first. It is 7-0 San Diego Mesa, and they moved all the way down the field using run plays, and then when getting in the red zone, a couple pass plays, and then a run play to get the touchdown.
And wide open receivers inside the red zone. Makai Puga deep. Arroyo Grande boy.
Kicks up into the end zone and fields it. He's out at the 5 and the 10.
2 yards deep, brought it out to the 10-yard line.
And here come the Bulldogs. The first offensive series for Hancock, down 7-0. Jackson Clavel, your quarterback, his sophomore season, the last time we'll see him in a Bulldog uniform, has had a pretty darn good year, 76 of 133 in the air for over 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions out of Spokane, Washington. He will lead the way with Caden Harris, the Northern League leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. But right away, Clavel, he's thrown it deep. He's taking a chance. Throwing it deep, looking for Collins Petaway, the sophomore, out by the 45-yard line. Incomplete.
Jordan Dwyer had the coverage for the Olympians.
I don't know if I've seen that play as the first offensive play of the game.
First offensive play of the game.
That's, you know what? Why not do something different? They've had an extra week. No, like 3 days to prepare. Everybody's pretty healthy. We don't get a lot of injury information from the Bulldog Athletic Department, but a few extra days doesn't hurt heading into this postseason bowl game.
He was trying to put an exclamation point on it right there, but he just overthrew his receiver.
This time under center. Gives it to Busby. Busby runs down the left side towards the sideline, and he gains about 6.
Busby's averaging 4.5 yards per carry for the season, so that's a fairly sure handoff for the Bulldogs.
And here comes the Northern League leader, Caden Harris, into the game. Overwhelming in the final game of the year against El Camino.
Yeah.
I think he had over 266.
He's averaging 11 yards per carry.
3rd and 3. And he gives it to Harris. Harris gets a first down. He's still on his feet, crosses the 25. I don't hear a whistle. He's still on his feet, and he's still moving. He's still moving, and he dives to the 35-yard line. Are you kidding me?
He worked his way out of the middle of that scrum for another 5 yards.
And a Bulldog first down. First and 10. We haven't sat near fans. They're usually on the other side of the field.
Spot.
Do we have a crowd mic, Brian? Probably not a good idea. Okay, good. This time it's John Allen. Allen finds Saruv and then runs out of bounds inside the 35 for a short gain. A 5-yard gain on the play for John Allen, the sophomore at a Tafuna High School in Pago Pago, American Samoa. One of the many Samoans on the Bulldog football team. Did you see the pregame haka? It's the best. It's the best. 2nd and 5. Another nice run by the Bulldogs. This was Anthony Tucker, the freshman, getting his first look and a first down Bulldogs.
Brought down by Matt Nunez, sophomore from Point Loma down in San Diego.
Ball's now at the 40. Busby's in. First time we're seeing Elias Martinez into the game, along with Collins Petaway on the far side of the football field. No receivers on the near side. This one is Busby. Busby crosses the 45, a gain of about 6. Bulldogs moving the football just as well as the Olympians did their first set of downs.
And I think he's got San Diego second guessing about the pass, too, because this could be a passing play right here.
Yep, the wide receivers are split. Under center. Gives it to Harris. He crosses midfield. He gets a first down and runs out of bounds in San Diego territory, and there is a flag on the play. Holding against A.J. Masunu. So that'll go back. They'll replay the second down. It's a 10-yard penalty. It'll take them all the way back to...
They took it from the point of the infraction.
Okay, so they're at the 40, so it's 10 yards from the 50. I did the math. That's 40.
You did the math right.
Jeez, my parents would be so proud. That's Syracuse and USC educations.
All that money they spent so you can do that.
Seriously.
So they're back to the original line of scrimmage, 2nd and 10.
Makai Puga is lining up as a wide receiver. We don't see it that often for the Bulldogs. He's on the far side. And Clavel is sacked at the 30. He tripped. You could see he was rolling to his left. He wanted to make a pass. You knew that he was going to pass the way that he was rolling out, but he tripped, and it gave the defensive lineman just enough time to sack him, and it's a loss of about 7 yards.
And Johan Henry was on top of him when he tripped. That'll bring up a 3rd and 17. Ball spotted at the 33.
Seven 0 Olympians with the lead. 4:10 on the clock in the first quarter. Clavel looking all the way downfield for Petaway, and it's almost intercepted. I thought he had it. Chris Jackson was the DB that had it in his hands, but he couldn't hold on to it. And Clavel threw it into double coverage.
Well, San Diego watched the game films just like Hancock did. They knew who he was going to throw it to.
Arathacosta back for the kick. Jordan Young is back to receive. He's got 21 punt returns this season, 324 yards, and one for 81 yards and a touchdown. He fields it at the 24, gets to the 30, makes a cut at the 35, still moving at the 40, the 45, crossing midfield, still going. He's got some space at the 20, the 15, and into the end zone is Jordan Young from West Hills High School in San Diego, the freshman, with a punt return for a touchdown. He had two good cuts right after he crossed the 40 and then found an open lane on the far side between the hash mark and the sideline at the Bulldog 40 and was untouched all the way into the end zone.
And it was a foot race for the last 20 yards, and there was nobody going to catch him.
Ryan Harris in for the extra point attempt. He's 12 for 12 this season. A couple kickers used by the Olympians. They're up now 13-0. Kick is up, and it's good. 14-0, the visiting Olympians of San Diego Mesa College leading the Bulldogs with 3:49 remaining in the first quarter. You're listening to Bulldog Football at ahcbulldogs.com. Welcome back to the Strawberry Bowl 2023 game. The Bulldogs against the Olympians of San Diego Mesa. San Diego is the visiting team, already on top 14-0 with 3:49 remaining in the first. 76-yard punt return for a touchdown. And the Bulldogs find themselves down early.
Not a position that they're accustomed to either.
Kick bounces into the end zone. This time Makai Puga lets it bounce. And the Bulldog offense will come back after the touchback. And it's a little bit more pressure for the offensive play calling when you're down 14-0 this early.
Although it is still very early, and I think they have whatever their game plan is, they've got to stick to their game plan.
1st and 10 from the 25. The sunset just keeps getting better. Clavel gives it to Caden Harris. Harris uses some of his offensive linemen to push through.
Uh-oh.
And it looks like there might be a fumble. I didn't hear a whistle. And it might have been a fumble recovery by Brandon Worsley. I didn't hear a whistle.
I never heard a whistle either. I think the officials are talking about it,
yeah,
too.
They've got to make a decision. And no flags either. So let's see what happened.
I think they're trying to decide if he was down before the ball.
One of the
was
officials
stripped.
is coming over to talk to head coach Rick Aguilar.
Yep.
And it did. It was a fumble recovered by the Olympians. This is not starting out well for the Bulldogs. Now a fumble by Harris. And if you think about it, if you look at Caden Harris's success, that could be his first fumble of the season. I'm pretty sure he has not fumbled. I'm pretty sure he hasn't. And that gives Mesa the ball at the Bulldog 29.
And that is his first fumble.
Wow. That's a surprise. Still only the first quarter. Lots of time on the clock. But you don't want the morale to deflate on the Bulldogs sideline. Olympians, 1st and 10 from the Bulldog 29. James Odom, the sophomore quarterback out of Grossmont High School. He keeps it, and he gets tackled quickly by Darian Prothro. And by the way, that's his 10th sack of the season. Darian Prothro.
Freshman from Jacksonville, Alabama.
He leads the Northern League in sacks with 9. Now he has 10. That takes him back about 4 yards. It'll be a 2nd and 14. Odom using the shotgun so far mostly this first quarter. And the defenders trying to listen to the offense. You can see there's a lot of talking going on both sides of the ball. Odom drops back. A pass. I think that one of the linemen got a piece of it. I think Isaac Faagata had a piece of it, but
Cesar Coleman was the intended receiver. It was underthrown. If nobody got a hand on it, he underthrew it. Brings up 3rd and long.
Odom, he's in trouble right away. Keeps it, crosses the 30, the 25. Still on his feet near the 20. There's a whistle. Not enough for a first down, but he makes up a lot of yardage.
Yeah, and that's a threat when you've got a quarterback that's not afraid of busting out of the pocket and running.
It's interesting, though, coming in. I mean, they've played 10 games. He only has 68 carries.
I saw that.
For 186 yards.
And he's got to already have 30 yards tonight.
3 touchdowns and 2 fumbles when he's running.
4th down.
They're going for it from the 21. The play clock is at 6. It's down to 2. And they, yep. And they called a timeout right on time. Yep. Oh, wow. They were looking at the clock, too.
They were watching the clock.
So was I, and I didn't call a timeout. We'll take a quick timeout as well, with the Bulldogs trailing 14-0, 1:35 remaining in the first quarter. You're listening to the 2023 Strawberry Bowl at ahcbulldogs.com.
Big fourth down play.
Welcome back. Terry Veal and CJ Silas. 4th and 2 for the visiting Olympians, who have a 14-point lead. I like being on the same side as the fans. Mesa's brought some people. They're on the other side. Odom. A complete pass to Davis. And it's a first down.
And that was a destined play. We need 4 yards. Go down, cut to the sideline, 4 yards. San Diego's looked very good inside the red zone so far tonight.
Now it's a 1st and 10 from the 17. Odom rolling to his right. A quick pass. I'm not sure if it was complete. It was hard to tell the way the receiver was up and down from the ground.
Yeah, pass was complete.
He was on the ground when he caught it, tried to get up, and couldn't get much room. It could be Elijah Ilisara, but I'm not sure because the numbers on that are a little wonky. Hopefully the San Diego Mesa fans that are listening understand that while I was getting ready this week doing my prep, there was so many number confusions, seriously, especially with the wide receivers and tight ends. I don't think anyone's updated the Mesa website or something. I sent a message to Shelby, our communications director, help. Odom finds some success running so far today. He keeps it, and he makes a nice move on the far hash mark. I'm always apologizing to the parents to make sure I say the kids' names right. Today, hopefully I don't get the kids wrong altogether. And I'm a professional. I spent hours getting my chart ready.
We do this for a living, and we still can get it wrong.
That's the end of the first quarter. Bulldogs have 3 more quarters to recover from a tough first quarter with a punt return for a TD and Caden Harris's first fumble of the season. They're trailing the Olympians of San Diego Mesa 14-0. You are listening to Bulldog Football at ahcbulldogs.com. Welcome back to the 2023 Strawberry Bowl. 1 quarter's in the books. The Bulldogs trail it 14-0 with San Diego Mesa threatening again with a 3rd and 3. And we've got our first quarter statistics. Part of me doesn't want to look at them.
Well, the statistics bear out the score.
Fourth and short, they're going for it. I can't tell if they got it. The players think they did. And it looks like the officials are saying it is.
Ezekiel Suomalo at the bottom of the pile for Alan Hancock.
It'll be a 1st and goal from the 7. Odom has Davis in the backfield. And he rolls to his right. He's got a little time, decides to hold it, keep it, and he runs to the left. Oh, and he's behind the line of scrimmage enough that he throws it into the end zone. And it might be Danny Davis running into the end zone. That was a cluster. And it came out on the Olympian side because he rolled to his right to make the pass. Danny Davis was running to the middle, and then he had receivers, and then Danny Davis ran all the way to the left, and then Odom ran to the left. And I thought he was going to keep running, and he stayed behind the line of scrimmage, and there was Davis in the end zone by himself. 6 more points for the Olympians, opening up the first minute of the second quarter, and that point after is good. It's 21-0. San Diego Mesa with the lead. I need a timeout. You're listening to Bulldog Football at ahcbulldogs.com. Welcome back to the 2023 Strawberry Bowl with just a minute off the clock in the second quarter. The visiting Olympians of San Diego Mesa with another touchdown, now lead at 21-0. Makai Puga, Anthony Tucker, and John Allen back to receive the kick, and it's going to go to Allen. Oh, actually, it's Puga at the 12, crosses the 20, still running, and he's pushed out of bounds near the 30-yard line. I thought they were coming at, Puga was behind Allen. I thought Allen was going to field the kickoff, but it was Puga.
Yeah, Allen said, "No, you take it. I don't want. I don't want."
Gets out to the 30. And offensively, there is a lot of pressure on the Bulldogs to do something to keep this team in the game.
Well, not only the team on the field, but also the team on the sideline. You can see the body language already.
1st and 10, Harris. He finds a hole at the 35. He's at the 40, crossing midfield. Caden Harris still running, and he runs out of bounds at the 34-yard line. There's a woman official. That's a line judge, right?
Oh, you're right.
Yep.
Yes.
I like to point it out. I like to point it out. Wouldn't it be great? It'll be great. We'll be dead, but they'll not point it out anymore because there'll be women everywhere in football. Nice run by Caden Harris. First play from scrimmage, and the Bulldogs are in decent, pretty good field position. 1st and 10 from the Olympians' 39. Busby. That's the magic of Caden Harris. You just don't know what's going to happen when he gets the ball. And I'm sure he's trying to make up for his only fumble of the entire year in the first quarter.
Busby ran into a wall, and the previous play, Caden ran through that hole for 35 yards. No gain on the play, 2nd and 10.
Elias Harris, the one wide receiver, lined up on the near side. With Clavel under center, Harris lined up in the backfield. And it is Harris, and he's in trouble. He literally sits down as 2 defenders are coming right at him. A loss of 3 on the play, 3rd and 13.
I thought I had made a mistake on my lineups, but number 95 made the tackle. He's not even on the roster.
For them?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. That doesn't surprise me. Busby finds a hole. He gets all the way to the 35, a 7-yard gain. And now it's going to be a 4th and 5. What does Chris Dutra and Rick Aguilar do? What do they decide to do here on a 4th down by 21 points?
You got to go. If I'm the coach, I've got to pull a string and if he's got a razzle-dazzle play or something, but.
Did you just say razzle-dazzle?
I did.
They're going for it. Clavel, quick pass to Harris. Harris
there it is.
Gets himself all the way to the 29 and runs himself out of bounds with just enough yardage for, looks like he might not have gotten it. We'll see. Oh, just short. I think he thought he had it.
He had the yardstick
wow.
in front of him.
What? They're calling it just a little too short. And Harris is a pretty heads-up kid. He literally ran past the flag. So maybe the person holding the stick had leaned it one way or something. I'm not blaming the stick holder. They are volunteers, by the way. But I am saying that Harris,
he knew exactly where the yardstick
beeline
was.
for that.
Yes.
And it wasn't enough. And that will be a disappointment for the Bulldogs. 1st and 10, Mesa. Gary Watkins is the 6th-year head coach for Mesa, using Tavian Tate, Danny Davis, and Santiago Salas as his main running backs.
Jeff Simeon at the bottom of the pile for the Bulldogs. Gain of 6, 2nd and 4.
Last year, the Mesa Olympians won the California Bowl. They beat El Camino 21-20 under Gary Watkins.
San Diego has obviously made the decision to run the ball in this game more than they have traditionally.
Using their quarterback a lot, too.
Yeah.
A 3rd and 1. Odom keeps it, gets a 1st down, and crosses midfield, carrying a couple Bulldogs with him for another Olympian 1st down.
That's a big threat when you can have the quarterback not afraid to run. And he hit a hole pretty good. Gained 9 yards.
1st and 10 now into Bulldog territory at the 47. Odom alone in the backfield. 3 wide receivers on the near side, 2 on the far side. Think he's going to pass?
I'd bet on pass.
He might keep it. Nope, he's going to pass. That one looking for Jonathan Littlejohn.
Jason Joseph had the coverage, almost had a better shot at the ball than the receiver did.
So I'm in the middle of, you started it, but we have the Allen Hancock College Bulldog Inter-Squad Baseball World Series going on. You did game 1, and I've done the last 3. The gold team is now up 3-2 after today, but it's the first time in my entire career that I have had a baseball game and a football game on the same day. I've never had that before, ever. Because normally the Bulldog World Series would be on the weekday, and then the bowl game would be on the weekend, but this is just kind of different because of the holiday. It's kind of fun. 2nd and 10. So I don't have time to look it up, and I don't have a statistician, but this kid Little John, who is one of the wide receivers, there's a coach. I think one of the coaches in the Northern League is the last name Little John. And I was curious if his son, if there's a relation between him and his son. I don't know. I'll have to look it up later because, you know, I'm so focused.
We'll check it at halftime.
Yeah,
we'll
will.
Get back to you.
Yeah. Because when I saw his name, I'm like, I'm kind of thinking that there might be a relation because Little John is not a usual name.
It's not Smith.
And they're both in California, and they're both in this community college level of football. And he's, I don't know.
3rd and 5.
Odom runs into one of his own linemen, still finds a way to get the pass off, but it's incomplete. Intended for, I'm not really sure because, you know, that number represents a lot of people's names. But we're going to go with Josh. We're going to go with Josh Tendeval. Even though I thought at one point it was somebody with the last name Owens. Just saying. But I'm pretty sure it's Tendeval. I hope, Mama Tendeval, I hope that was your son. You know, not everyone from San Diego could make the drive on a Tuesday night when the holiday isn't until this weekend, unless they took the whole week off. So there's a timeout on the field. We will take a timeout as well. It's the Olympians with their 2nd timeout of the first half. You're listening to Bulldog Football at ahcbulldogs.com. Welcome back to Rigetti High School in Santa Maria, California, site of the 2023 Strawberry Bowl. Allen Hancock trailing San Diego Mesa 21-0 midway through the 2nd quarter. And the Olympians on a 4th and 5 are going for it. And Odom finds his wide receiver, Kadir Diop, for a first down, and he runs all the way inside the 5-yard line.
And Simeon just flat got beat.
For a 1st and goal, another pass play from Odom. That was Diop's first reception of the game. He's a sophomore out of Minneapolis South High School, Minnesota. 35 catches this year, the sophomore, 562 yards, 6 touchdowns. Now, 2nd and goal from the 1. The players say touchdown, and now the officials say touchdown as well. A 1-yard touchdown run, and now it is 27-0. San Diego Mesa with the lead. Ryan Harris. Kick is up, and it's good. 28-0 is the score. 7:14 remaining in the first half. You're listening to Bulldog Football at ahcbulldogs.com. Welcome back. It's 28-0. The visiting Olympians of San Diego Mesa from the Southern League in the lead with 7:14 remaining. Puga at the 5 to the 10, now the 15. Tackled just past the 20. What do you do differently to get this team back into the game, Terry?
Well,
you are the expert.
Yeah, they've been running up the middle, and I think they need to break around the corners, and he needs to throw a few more passes to open up that running game. But I think if they get around the corner with Caden Harris and establish the running game, they will have a passing. They've got a passing game. They just need to reestablish it.
1st and 10 Bulldogs. Caden Harris. Maybe a couple big plays by Harris would help.
Wouldn't hurt.
And he's capable. Or maybe a surprise play to like a pass to a halfback, which the Bulldogs tend to do at least once or twice a season. Maybe it'll be Brian Ibarra or A.J. Masuno or Joey Garza.
They did that in the last game. They had a little halfback pass and worked really well. That's the razzle-dazzle I was talking about.
You said it again. You made me think of the gum. The Razzles. Busby. Busby gets a first down for the Bulldogs.
Now you've got the defense thinking. They've had 2 solid running plays in a row. And this would be an opportune time for a pass. Of course, if I can think of that, so can they.
1st and 10 from their own 40. Harris finds some room, crosses midfield, gets a first down, still going. This time he was sure to get his first down. Ran out of bounds at the 40 for a 20-yard gain. And a Bulldog first down.
The other thing that's 3 running plays in a row around the outside. And by doing that, you're opening up your inside running game too, because now they're looking for that outside run.
First and 10 from the 40. Busby finds a hole. And it looks like Ferrari Busby gets another Bulldog first down.
Kudos to the O-line on that one, because they blew a hole in the defensive line, and Busby just put it in 4th gear and shot through it. It's just taken them a quarter and a half to get all the cylinders firing.
Ladies and gentlemen, Terry Veal, cliche master. You knew I was going to say that.
It's sooner or later.
You were waiting.
I knew it was coming.
I hope you know I'm having fun with you. Okay.
That's what it's all about.
I know, right? Caden Harris. You know who we haven't seen, unless I missed him, is J.P. Luketu.
No, we have not seen Luketu
or
yet.
Metaliki Tupo'u. Mostly Busby and Harris. Allen once or twice, and Anthony Tucker. They're all there. They're right around the decision makers. Tucker, Isaiah Thomas. They're all standing right where they need to be if they get the call. Busby got a nice block from Joey Garza.
Run out of bounds by Johan Henry from Honolulu. And another Bulldog first
Bulldog
down.
first down for Busby. I didn't think he made it, but he did. That's why I don't wear the stripes. If I did, I'd wear a Foot Locker. 1st and 10 Bulldogs. Caden Harris. It's almost like they were waiting for him right there. (28-0). With just about 3 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. And the Bulldogs are actually offensively moving the ball nicely.
Yes.
But when the Olympians get the ball, it just seems like it's quick and it ends in a score.
So far this series, it's been the Caden Busby show. Harris Busby show. 3rd and 5. Ball inside the 15.
Clavel under center. I knew he was running that way because I saw where A.J. Masunu had lined up. And look at that.
Oh.
All the way into the end zone, a 14-yard touchdown run. First score of the game, and that should fire up the Bulldog offense.
Caden Harris ran into a pile and came out the other side.
I couldn't believe he was still on his feet. That's why I kind of started talking, because I thought he was down. But no, 14 yards later, he's into the end zone for the first Bulldog score. And Masunu, the sophomore, helped out on the right side. Acosta with the point after attempt. It's good. It's now 28-7 with 2:10 remaining in the first half. You're listening to Bulldog Football at ahcbulldogs.com. Welcome back to the 2023 Strawberry Bowl. Terry Veal alongside CJ Silas. The Bulldogs on a Caden Harris 14-yard touchdown run are on the board now, 28-7. Ball bounces at the 20 and it rolls around. Jordan Young picks it up, then he drops it, and then he has to dive onto it. Looks like it could be Bulldog football. It is. Jordan Young thought he had it, dropped it, tried to dive onto it before he could. The Bulldogs recovered it, and now, after their first touchdown of the game, the Bulldogs have a chance to score again.
Jordan Young let it bounce And he tried to pick it up, and it was too late.
First and 10 Bulldogs from the 18. Busby finds a hole, still on his feet inside the 15, and now he's being pushed back to the 20.
They give him the forward motion to the 14. Gain of 5.
Here comes Harris, 2nd and 6 from the 14. He likes Masuno as one of his blockers. You can see him on the right side. This one, it's a play action to the right. Was it intercepted?
The officials
They're
are
acting
talking,
like
yep.
it was intercepted.
They did on the 2-yard line.
Looks like it was an interception by Brandon Worsley. And I think it was intended for Alex Sutton.
Sutton was the intended receiver.
And now, after a touchdown and then a fumble recovery by the Bulldogs on the kickoff and another turnover, here comes Mesa, 1st and 10 from the Bulldog 3, 97 yards and a minute 18 seconds they've got left. 97 to go with just a minute 18 in the second quarter. Now they just got to get it away from that goal line. Nobody ever wants a safety. It's the worst. It messes up the score, first of all, but it also is irresponsible.
Cal Poly had 3 safeties in their game in Washington a couple weeks ago.
They've got 1 timeout remaining in this half. They're taking the play clock down, making a decision on what to do. Looking at the sideline, the play clock's down to 7. The game clock is at 35. Looks like they just want to run the clock down. And they might let it go now with 24 seconds remaining on the game.
That should be the last play of the first half.
It looks like the sideline's ready to go.
The sideline is already off the field.
The Mesa sideline is already heading to the locker room. And then the
There's
other
the horn.
22 people are waiting to hear the siren. With 1 half of play in the books, the Olympians of San Diego Mesa College are leading the Allen Hancock College Bulldogs 28-7. We will come back after halftime with your first half statistics. I do want to thank Giffen Equipment, Cap Shack, Oxford Suites, Home Motor Chevrolet, Community Bank of Santa Maria, Mountain Mike's, and Me and Ed's Pizza for their support of Allen Hancock College football. You are listening to Bulldog Football at ahcbulldogs.com. Welcome back to Ernest Rigetti High School in Santa Maria, California, the site of your 2023 Strawberry Bowl. Along with Terry Veal, I am CJ Silas. We appreciate you being here. Hope you had a nice break. Maybe some nachos, maybe a beer, all the stuff you do on a Tuesday the night, a couple nights before Thanksgiving.
Getting tuned up for Thanksgiving.
We look at the stats for the first half, and you found some pretty interesting things you'd like to share with our viewers.
Well, so far it's been, for San Diego, it's been the James Odom game. He is not only 7 for 10 passing for 73 yards, he's also the leading rusher for San Diego. 9 carries, 67 yards, and this is a team that only averages about 90 yards, less than 90 yards a game in rushing, and Odom has 67 already in the first half.
So why do they choose that as their offensive strategy for the first half?
Well, if you look at the stats, they're a passing team. They're averaging over 200 yards a game passing. They've only had 73 yards in passing in the first half, and I think that they came out with something that wasn't on the tape, that was going to be a surprise to Alan Hancock.
What is the stat that stands out to you for the Bulldogs?
Rushes, well, passing yards, 5.
Did you say 5?
5.
Okay. That's definitely a
Passing
statistic,
yards,
yeah.
5.
Caden Harris still having a good game, 10 carries for 92 yards. But that one fumble really shifted it, plus the interception and the punt return, the kickoff return for a touchdown. 3 significant plays that all went San Diego Mesa's way.
And Clavel is 1 for 4 for 5 yards with 1 interception.
Bulldogs will receive the kickoff, trailing 28-7, still a full half of football. If you are Chris Dutra, the offensive coordinator, and Rick Aguilar, what have you said to your kids in the locker room at halftime? Puga fields it in the end zone, decides to bring it out, and gets across the 20. Just the same as a touchback, it'll be a 1st and 10 from the 25. If you are the coach or one of the coaches at halftime, what were you saying to those kids?
I'm saying we got to play our game, and this is not the team that got us where we are. And if the defense can hold them, the Bulldogs have more than enough talent to score 3 or 4 touchdowns in the second half, but they have not been playing their game.
1st and 10 Bulldogs from their own 25, opening up the second half of play. Right away, it's Harris. He finds a hole. There's a flag, but he's still running, crosses midfield, still on his feet, breaks 2 tackles, and is dropped at the 39, but there's a flag all the way back at the Bulldog 32.
I think it's going to be a face mask. I think one of the San Diego players got a hold of Caden Harris's helmet.
Face mask against the look at you. That's why we brought you here. Face mask against the defense.
And that'll tack on a few more.
That'll take the Bulldogs. It's a 15-yard penalty. So 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
I think the emotions are running a little higher here in the second half.
Bulldogs are pretty fired up. Did you see the offensive line on that?
He blew him back about 8 yards straight on his back.
Oh, goodness. 7-yard gain on the play. 2nd and 3 from the 18. Harris runs to the left. He's still moving. Caden Harris into the end zone. What a cut.
What a cut.
18-yard touchdown run by Caden Harris. Did you go down to the locker room at halftime?
No, I think that was probably a good place to stay away from.
Bulldogs only use a minute 18 seconds to score the first touchdown of the second half. Caden Harris on an 18-yard touchdown run. Aroth Acosta's field goal kick point after is blocked. It's live.
Recovered by the Bulldogs, but he had nowhere to go.
Nowhere. 28-13 Bulldogs with a convincing offensive set of downs and a touchdown for Caden Harris. The Bulldogs are fired up. That offensive line is pumped up. I wonder who was in the locker room at halftime, because whoever it was, I hope they come back. Jordan Young inside the 20 for the Olympians. Aroth Acosta, the busiest kicker in the community college level. And it's fielded at the 22. Danny Davis, and it looks like there might have been a fumble, but no turnover.
He did fumble the ball, but he recovered it himself.
It'll be a 1st and 10 from the 40. The score is now 28-13. The Olympians overpowering offensively in the first half for the 28 points. Let's see what kind of energy they have coming in here to start the third quarter.
I'm sure the defensive coordinator had a few words for the defense.
This one, a pass play. There's definitely some physical relations going on between the wide receiver, Kadir Diop, and the DB, but no flag on the play, and it's incomplete.
Jason Joseph was focused on the receiver, and the ball was underthrown. There is a flag.
There was a holding call against Albert Dowling. Now it'll be a 1st and 20 because of the penalty against the Olympians. Actually, it was not Dowling, excuse me. It was Jose Sanchez from the Olympians with the holding penalty. Odom's in trouble. Gets out of one tackle, still running. Finally tackled by Keyshawn Pua.
Dragged down from behind. Back to the original line of scrimmage.
An 11-yard gain on the play. And he was scrambling the entire 11 yards. Odom gets out of a few tackles, crosses midfield, gets a Olympians first down, and is finally tackled at the Bulldog 46. I wonder if the statistics that we got were wrong coming into the game, the way that he runs.
I made that comment earlier. It's like I was looking at a different set of stats.
Jatavius Franklin on the tackle for the Bulldogs. This time it was Tavian Tate. 2nd and 10. No gain on the Tate run. The entire offense looking over to the sideline. 4 wide receivers and Tate in the backfield. Odom from the shot. This time looking downfield again for Diop. Great coverage by Jason Joseph.
Broken up nicely. Ball was just a little bit underthrown.
Greg calls him Jason. I call him Jason. It's J-Y-S-O-N. What would you call him?
Jason.
2 against 1. I don't know. People spell their kids' names differently now just to be different, so
yes,
you
they
don't
do.
know if they're still pronounced the way we've pronounced names, but it looks to me like Jason. So, Mrs. Joseph, if I'm saying it wrong, just call the school and let me know. I'll fix it for next year because he's a freshman. 3rd and 10. After the incomplete pass, Odom again. This time looking downfield for A.J. Gonzake.
Aaron Small Jr. had the coverage. There's a flag on the play.
Aaron Small, an active sophomore in the D back on the club. 25 tackles, 10 assists, and interception.
I never saw the signal on the
I didn't either, but it's a first down, so there you have it. Holding against the Bulldogs. Against oh, that was a giggle. I don't have a mic. I couldn't turn off my mic. This time again, Diop, and it's a floater. He literally looked up and got under the ball for a 36-yard touchdown catch by Kader Diop.
They tried that play 3 times in a row. Same exact play, same exact route.
To
and
6.
The quarterback put it right in his arms.
6th touchdown of the year for the sophomore from Minnesota. And now 34-13. (35-13) after the extra point. As fired up as the Bulldogs were, see if they can hold on to it. Only 3.5 minutes ran off the clock here in the second half. Plenty of time, but down by 22 points. Still a 3-possession ball game. I can't remember the last time the Bulldogs had a 2-point conversion, and we're down by this much too.
Down by this
both
much?
Both of those I can't remember.
Not in my tenure.
I like that I can't remember.
Yes.
Ryan Harris. Puga at the 4, gets the 15, 20, cuts to the left, crosses the 25, the 30, with a little help from his friends, not tackled until the 35-yard line.
Brought down by Christian Aguilar. That looked more like the Mackay Puga that we're accustomed to.
Clavel gives it to Busby. And Busby is dropped by Chris Jackson.
Is it me, or do they run Busby to the left and Caden to the right?
Oh. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think it's a plan. I think once they have the ball, there's a plan to go one way or the other, but when they see what they've got in front of them, then they have to make that choice. But here he goes, Caden Harris to the right. I'm not saying you're right, but he did move to the right. But he's come to the left, too.
Yes. Short of the first down, out of bounds. Going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Busby all of a sudden turns into a wide receiver. And that is exactly who Clavel was going for. And they knew it. Deshaun Burdett covered it perfectly.
Yeah, he was all over the receiver. Got his hand in, batted it down.
It was an interesting choice of plays. You don't see that very often where Busby lines up in the backfield and then rushes over and turns himself into a receiver that quickly before the snap. Costa with a nice punt. Fielded at the 17 by Young. Young gets past the 25, the 35, and all the way past the 40, pushed out of bounds at the 45. Both teams have had some pretty good kickoff and punt returns today.
Yes, they have, and San Diego's been able to capitalize on having, other than that last series in the second quarter where they started out on their own 4-yard line by the interception, they've had really good field position all night long.
First and 10 from their own 44. This time it's Salas. He's in trouble. The whistle blows. Still getting tackled.
Ezekiel Seomalo made sure he wasn't going to go anywhere.
And Reynold Uti was there. Salas thought he was still being tackled after the whistle, and I think he was probably right. A loss of 4. 2nd and 14. Odom has a hole. But then guess who's waiting for him right at the line of scrimmage? Keyshawn Pua. Looks like it's... I didn't hear a whistle. Was that a fumble?
I don't know what's going on. There's a flag.
There's a flag after.
One of the Bulldogs pleading his case with the referee.
Odom is upset. He's over near his sideline. And the sideline's talking a little bit to Aaron Small Jr. and Jatavius Franklin having words with the San Diego sideline, which is not a good thing this early in the second half.
And we're going to have every referee in the middle of the field trying to figure out what's going on. Reynold Uti is very upset about something.
And Aaron Small, actually Darius Odom's got his hand in the air because he is sure that it was a turnover. There was no whistle. Did you hear a whistle?
No. And they've been a little slow with the whistles tonight, all night long.
Down by contact, and then after that, a personal foul against the Bulldogs. And San Diego Mesa is fired up, trying to egg on the crowd. So he was down, and then the personal foul came later,
Yes.
and that's 15 yards. So instead of being inside the 40, around the 45, in Mesa territory, now the ball is placed at the 37 in Bulldog territory for 15 yards. 1st and 10. Salas. It's early with only 6 minutes ticking off the clock in the 3rd quarter with a 35-13 lead. They're not going to be trying to run the clock down this early in the
I
game.
wouldn't think, although if you watch the time clock,
Yes.
he's letting it run down
The play clock, yeah.
the play clock almost every play.
This time he's got some time, and he falls down. And he falls down. Nobody had touched him, but I think Brody Tucker went over and said, "Oh no, you're down, and I'm getting credit."
Trent Kimmel looked like a hurdler on that play, coming into the backfield, hurdled over one of the O-line for San Diego.
He's one of the highest energy players on the defense. He gets so pumped up.
He looked like a hurdler.
Yeah, sophomore. He was that way last year too, from Sophomore High School. He's from Oklahoma. 3rd and long. Odom gets back to the original line of scrimmage, and he's still running. And he's close to the 1st down marker around the 28, but I'm not sure he was tackled before the 1st down or he dove right past the sticks.
Now they're going to mark it short.
That was a nice run. He's got over 100 yards now. You know, there are 2 other quarterbacks on the roster. Richie Colmaneo. He's had 79 passes. I mean, they've used 3 quarterbacks this season, but James Odom showing why they're using him here in the postseason. Nearly sacked, gets the ball off.
And that'll be a turnover on downs for Alan Hancock.
Yeah, Trent Kimmel's pretty fired up. Bulldogs take over after a messy offensive series. What?
Being kind. That had a little bit of everything in it. Penalties.
1st and 10 Bulldogs, trailing by 22. Ball's in their own 29. Caden Harris running to the right.
You made a comment earlier about 2-point conversions. I'm trying to find that stat.
You must be bored.
Somewhere buried here.
2nd and 5. Quick pass play. Clavel looking for Martinez, and he finds him for a complete pass into San Diego Mesa territory. Elias Martinez. Clavel knew exactly what he was doing. He dropped back, and that pass was 2 seconds after the snap.
Aaron Swain had the coverage for San Diego, but he got outplayed on that.
That was a 40-yard, 42-yard reception.
42-yard reception.
1st and 10 from the 23. Busby makes a nice cut and dives towards the 20. Not much of a gain on that run.
Gain of 2, 2nd and 8 at the 21.
Looks like Tucker. Still moving, no whistle.
Moving the pile.
And the blue push, look at the blue push. Anthony Tucker with a first down, Bulldogs. First and goal.
They pushed that pile 8 yards.
How does an official decide when to blow a whistle on a play like that?
I guess if they're still moving.
They were. And that was not a butt push.
No, that would look like a rugby scrum.
First and goal from the 8. A flag on the play.
Late flag. That may have been.
Anthony Tucker again.
Oh, wait, I'm not going to call this one.
Don't call it until you know. Personal foul against KC Fua'u. Now it'll be second and goal from the 18. 10-yard penalty.
Not going to push the pile this time. Michael Woolery made the tackle.
.340 remaining in the third quarter. 35-13 San Diego Mesa with the lead. Bulldogs with the ball. Third and long. And it was a pass complete to Busby, but he was hit before he had a chance to even look ahead to see if he could run.
Christian Aguilar saw that screenplay coming.
Costas coming in, his first field goal attempt of the game. Is this a 32-yard? 42-yard attempt.
Which is his long for his JC career is 42.
I don't know if somebody touched it, but it's not no distance, and
somebody got a hand on that one.
This second quarter has really had. The second half has really had a lot of different things. A variety of play choices, surprises, penalties. I think both teams each had one penalty in the first half.
Yes.
A lot more penalties coming here in the second half. And the Bulldogs came out of the locker room pretty fired up. And now San Diego Mesa will take over after the missed field goal attempt. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 25. The officials are a little late with their whistles tonight.
And there's a flag. Emotions are running a little high down there right now.
Now a personal foul against San Diego Mesa. Elijah Elisara, the wide receiver, tight end. This will walk them back to the 15-yard line. 10-yard penalty.
And I think Elisar is their only international. No, they've got one from Jamaica and one from Japan, but Elisar is from Pago Pago, in American Samoa.
Now,
and another flag.
Delay a game? Was it a delay game or a timeout?
I don't know. There's a flag on the play.
They took a timeout, but why was there a flag? He threw the flag. You don't throw a flag on a timeout.
No.
We'll take a timeout as well with the confusion all over the field. 2:05 remaining in the third quarter. You're listening to Bulldog Football at ahcbulldogs.com. Welcome back to the Strawberry Bowl along with Terry Veal. I'm CJ Silas. 2:05 remaining in the third quarter, 35-13. Visiting Olympians of San Diego Mesa College with the lead and the ball on a 2nd and 19. And flags after the timeout. False start against the Olympians.
And they'll march it back 5 more, and it'll be
Second and
24.
You did the math this time. Good work. Where did you go to school?
Washington, University of Washington.
You did. You're a Husky. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
And UCLA.
Whoa. Washington's had a great football season.
Yes, they did.
Gee.
Doesn't happen often. We mark it down on the calendar.
There was a time. Not recently, but there was a time. Odom. Had a pretty nice block from a wide receiver. I think Kadir Diop had a nice block on the play. Gets him back a little bit past the original line of scrimmage. So from a 2nd and 24, it's now a 3rd and about 7.
Dalen Randall, who's one of their leading tacklers, made the tackle for Alan Hancock.
Pass complete to Littlejohn.
And wide open, split the secondary.
And a first down for the Olympians. First and 10 from the 39. Under a minute to play here in the third. Davis, the ball carrier, gets across midfield and another Mesa first down.
And I'm beginning to wonder about the stats that we were given.
What do you mean?
As far as how much they're running the ball versus.
Oh, you mean the stats on the Southern California Football Association website?
That one. That one.
I don't know if you can make those up. I know that the numbers of the roster comparison from the website of the school and the football association were very off, but I don't think the statistics. I don't know, maybe Terry Veal. And that'll be the end of the third quarter. San Diego Mesa leads at 35-13. One more quarter of play for the Bulldogs, needing 22 points to tie this game. You're listening to Bulldog Football at ahcbulldogs.com. Welcome back to Santa Maria, California, Rigetti High School, site of the 2023 Strawberry Bowl. San Diego Mesa, that won their bowl game last season, in town to take on the Bulldogs, who won their bowl game last season. And the Olympians with a 35-13 lead.
Looking at the stats, 44 yards passing for Alan Hancock in the first three quarters, 120 for San Diego Mesa, 179 rushing yards. And Hancock with 236 yards. Total yards are almost dead even.
Caden Harris with 152, and quarterback James Odom from the Olympians has 129 yards on the ground. They only scored one touchdown in the third quarter. And there's Odom again carrying the ball. Coming in to the game, the leading rusher on the team was Tavian Tate, followed by Danny Davis and Santiago Salas. And then number 4 on the list for the Olympians is Odom, the quarterback.
And he's had 16 carries tonight for 129 yards in the first three quarters.
4th and long. It's a punt. There is nobody back to field it. It'll roll to the 11-yard line where it's downed by the Olympians, and the Bulldog offense will come back on the field with 1 quarter of play left. We do want to thank our generous sponsors for support of Bulldog Athletics: Me and Ed's Pizza, Giffen Equipment, Cap Shack, Oxford Suites, Home Motors Chevrolet, Mountain Mike's, and Community Bank of Santa Maria. Thank you for supporting Alan Hancock Bulldog Athletics. The Bulldog World Series still going on. 2 more games, Game 6 and Game 7, next Monday and Tuesday after an early Thanksgiving holiday in a couple days. This is the last football game we'll see in Santa Maria until the fall. Clavel, quick pass looking for Elias Martinez. Throws it over his head. Incomplete.
Deshaun Burdette with the coverage for San Diego. Ball was just overthrown.
2nd and 10. Another pass this time.
And a flag.
There's a flag. It was intended for Collins Petaway inside the 25. John Allen was in as the running back on that play for the Bulldogs. Let's see what the officials decide. Defensive pass interference against Aaron Swain. Petaway knew it right away.
He got a pretty good push in the back on that. He was looking around at the official, and then the flag came out.
First down from the 23.
That was a great fake on that play. He had me faked out.
I wasn't going to admit it, but now that you said that, I will admit I didn't know where the ball was. Come on, man.
I was looking at the
Was
quarterback, and the ball was 12 yards up the
I think
field.
it was Anthony Tucker.
9-yard play, 2nd and 1.
Complete pass. I think that's Puga. Makai Puga setting up as a wide receiver.
And that should be a Bulldog first down. And it is.
That one's intended for Puga. Again, he can't hold on to it. Puga, 16 catches.
146 yards.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know. My brain stopped working. I didn't finish my sentence. I went,
that's
thank
why
you
I
for doing that.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Literally nothing. Just stopped at 16 catches. And what was supposed to come was coming into this game, and here he is. They're using him as a wide receiver, but he's limping off the field.
And Masunu broke through into the secondary on that run for a first down Bulldogs.
Trying new weapons here in the 4th quarter. Makai Puga limping on the sideline. His left leg is bothering him. Clavel looking downfield to Petaway.
Oh.
There was contact, but I saw Petaway put up his left arm as well. I think it was mutual admiration, but we'll see who the flag is on. It was against Chris Jackson, but I don't know, the official didn't see it, but Petaway had his left arm up on the defender the whole time. I know there's a little bit allowed.
There's a little
but
bit of
that's
leeway.
in, like, what, the first 5 yards, but he was running down the field. But I think the official was on the field side, and Petaway's arm was up on the sideline side. Not that I want to tattle, I'm just saying. John Allen. Now some more flags after the play. And there's a flag and an injured player. Well, no injured player anymore. He got helped up. Peko Lisiolagi. But there's a flag. There are 2 flags. Personal foul against Andrew Batella, the freshman defender for Mesa. And look at where the ball gets placed.
23-yard line.
Bulldogs close. Would give them some confidence if they could score now, but Clavel right away.
Tripped up in the backfield by Ryan Odom.
That's a loss of 10 yards, almost 10. 9-yard loss, 2nd and 19. In motion is Puga. Clavel.
Just out of the reach.
Was looking for Martinez again. Those officials are really, they're letting those defenders and the wide receivers play freely.
There's a lot of latitude out there.
A lot. That's a good word for it. Latitude, not longitude.
Latitude.
Yes. It's not attitude, which is what I have. After
and don't ever lose that.
Announcing since 1 o'clock this afternoon doing baseball and now at a football stadium, which is actually kind of fun. Puga again in motion to the far side. And it's a pass play to Martinez, who breaks 2 tackles.
Slipped 2 tackles.
But he got back maybe to the original line of scrimmage. A 9-yard gain.
He made up the penalty. Well, what do you do? 4th and 11?
You're down by,
minutes left?
and you're down by 22?
You got to go.
Well, from there, it would be a long field goal. It would be almost 40 yards, 40-something yards.
It'd be 40 yards.
Clavel's got a little bit of time looking to the end zone for Petaway, and the ball was nowhere near him.
Overthrown by 5 yards. I don't know if Petaway missed a route, but he was in double coverage.
They'll turn it over on downs. Did you notice there was no Caden Harris on the field most of that offensive series?
No.
I don't see him in the trainers area, but I do see him standing on the sideline with his helmet off. I mean, he's the offensive leader for this team, not just his team, but the Northern League. And he's got his helmet off on the sideline.
Yes, he does.
And they just had an important set of downs that he didn't play in. Where's our sideline reporter when we need one? Where is Michelle Tafoya?
Where's Michelle Tafoya?
Pam Oliver? Where is Lisa Salters when we need them?
Michelle, down to you.
Her microphone's not working. Mesa has a 22-point lead with 10 minutes remaining in the game.
Good open field tackle by Aaron Small, Jr.
Lots of running. That's my guess.
Lots of running.
Is that your guess?
That would be my guess.
Brian, technical director, what's your guess? He agrees, which is just as good as a guess.
We got the trifecta up here.
2nd and 8. He just looked right at me. I agree.
And what do they do? Pass. We're all wrong.
It was Brian. It was Brian's fault. First down for San Diego. San Diego coming in 6-4 overall, 4-3 in the Southern League. Bulldogs 7-3 overall, 6-1 in the Northern League, but they're different leagues. And it's hard to tell what's going to happen against the teams, especially since they've never played each other. But they got to watch a lot of films of each other. I guess we could have come to Hancock and watched some film. It's a first down for the Olympians. Tavian Tate First and 10 from the 50. You could call it the 49.
I had the glasses on Odom on the near sideline getting a rather stern talking to by one of the trainers. And he's over there with his hands on his hips and not looking happy.
Who are you talking about?
Caden Harris.
Caden Harris.
Getting a stern talking to by one of the trainers.
Three-yard gain on the play. 2nd and 7 for the Olympians. Odom running. Nope. Passes instead right before he crosses the line of scrimmage, and it's a complete pass to Elliott, Mekhi Elliott. And it's not only is it a first down, but this moves the Olympians all the way to the 17-yard line. Odom gives it to Davis.
And a flag on the play. And another flag on the play.
The first one was while the play was going on. The second one was after the whistle. There might be two. Two different spots on the field. There's one flag all the way inside the 10 near the far hash mark, and then the other one was back behind the line of scrimmage. And the stripes are talking.
And that was a late flag.
Yeah,
the
the second one.
Late line of scrimmage.
Personal foul against Trent Kimmel. I was wondering why he left the field. And he's ejected because it's a second penalty of the game. Right?
Yep. And they'll move the ball to the 3-yard line.
Trent Kimmel's been fired up, but now he's on the sideline. He's talking to one of the athletic staff who's trying to calm him down. A very important component on this Bulldog defense, not just for numbers, but for energy. First and goal from the 3 after the 2 penalties. And Davis gets into the end zone for a touchdown. Isn't it a penalty sometimes when the players throw the ball
Spike
badly
the ball.
or throw it over the head of the officials when they're tossing it to them? Isn't there a penalty in that?
Yes,
is it
there
unsportsmanlike or something?
Yes.
It's happened like 3 times today.
Yes.
And usually they'll call the first one to let them know they're not going to take it. But they haven't called them, so they're continuing to do it. And coincidentally, this time it was way over the head of the woman official.
Don't read anything into that's not there.
I'm not reading into it. I'm just saying she's a little shorter than the other officials.
And the kick was up and good.
42-13. San Diego Mesa with the lead. 6:40 remaining in the game. 2023 Strawberry Bowl on ahcbulldogs.com. Welcome back to the Strawberry Bowl. Trent Kimmel did not get thrown out of the game. He was warned. because of the type of penalty that he had. If he gets one more, he will get kicked out. There were 2 penalties on that play down right before the touchdown, but they were not both on Trent Kimmel. Clarification, he's still in the game. Sorry, Mrs. Kimmel. But he's still being calmed down on the sideline. Ball bounces on the G in Rigetti in the end zone, and with 6:40 remaining in the game, 3 timeouts for the Bulldogs, 2 for the Olympians. 42-13, that's a wide margin. That's a 4 possession.
The clock is not on their side right now.
And I'm curious if Caden Harris moved from where he was standing. I'm curious if he's going to put his helmet back on and get in the game. He's not in this set right now because that's Busby, I'm pretty sure, in the backfield.
Looking for him on the sideline.
He's actually standing with the trainer down by the athletic training table with his helmet off. This is Busby. There was definitely something going on after the whistle, but I have not seen a flag.
No flags on the play, but there was a little extracurricular
Oh, my
activity.
gosh. How do you miss that? There was an official on each side of what was going on the field, right near where the spot of the ball. And all of a sudden, there was an Olympian player down on the ground.
And all the fans saw it, and the officials didn't.
Or they're cold. 2nd and 10. Petaway. Completed pass at the 32. Right when he catches it, he's tackled by Chris Jackson.
Tackle number 2, Chris Jackson.
3rd and 3 at the 33, 32.
Makai Puga, not enough for a first down, but a complete pass. It's going to be a 4th and short. Bulldogs are going to have to go for it here. One of the athletic trainers and a doctor on the sideline talking to Caden Harris. He wants to get back in the game, you can just tell.
Harris is pleading his case, and the doctor's walking away.
He's a freshman.
That'll be a Bulldog
That will be a
down.
nice first down for the Bulldogs. Michael Tucker, a big run for the freshman. And a Bulldog first down. Looks like there's a timeout on the field. San Diego Mesa will use its 2nd timeout of the 2nd half with 4:13 remaining in the game. The Olympians lead at 42-13. You're listening to the Strawberry Bowl on ahcbulldogs.com. Welcome back to the Strawberry Bowl. Terry Veal, CJ Silas, 4:13 remaining in the game. The Olympians of San Diego Mesa College leading at 42-13. Star running back Caden Harris on the sideline, not probably going back into the game for the Bulldogs. Clavel finds Joey Garza all alone at the 40,
Wide
the
open.
30, the 20. He cuts in and gets tackled at the 4-yard line. Joey Garza, 50-yard catch.
Somebody on San Diego missed an assignment because I could have caught that
There were-
catch.
There was nobody around Joey Garza. The Napomo kid. First and goal from the 4. John Allen into the
Touchdown.
end zone for a touchdown. 4-yard touchdown for John Allen. His 7th touchdown of the season. The sophomore from Tafune High School in Pago Pago, American Samoa. Aratha coming in for the extra point. Kick is up. And it's good. 42-20 now with 3:29 remaining in the game. Bulldogs still have 3 timeouts. San Diego Mesa has 1. You're listening to Bulldog Football and AHCBulldogs.com. Welcome back to Rigetti High School. The Strawberry Bowl 2023. Bulldogs now down 42-20. Jordan Dwyer fields the kickoff. He's still on his feet. And there's a flag on the play, but it's way after he ran out of bounds. The flag is by the 45-yard line in Bulldog territory. I thought he ran out of bounds closer to midfield.
He did.
Did he run out of bounds and then back in bounds? Late hit by Eric Gant, the sophomore from the Olympians.
And that was after he had already run out of bounds.
So wait. Huh?
Gant made a late hit after the,
Yeah,
after
but
the play was already
look where they're
dead.
putting the ball.
Was
I
it
know I'm not the
point-
only
point
confused
of
person.
infraction?
Yeah, but the flag was all the way down at the 50-yard line. And they're spotted at the 20.
But I think it may have been from the point of infraction that they penalized at 15 yards.
Got it. So then it would have happened at the 35, even though the flag was at the 50. Weird. That's why I'm not on the field. Leave her up in the booth so she
That's
doesn't. I'll be going up to the stripes going, hey, what was that? If I had a microphone, what are you doing over here? That's why they keep me up here. 12 years ago, I started my Hancock football career in this booth.
I was going to congratulate you.
Oh,
You took the words right out of my
12 years, Rigetti High School, before Hancock had a football stadium on the campus.
in this booth.
In this
12
booth
years ago.
with Irvin Kiger. My first game, I was so nervous, and I haven't been back. Let's see, when was I? Well, we were here for like 3 years. Another penalty, this time against Mesa. So last year's bowl game was at Hancock because it was a day game and you didn't need lights. The last bowl game I did, I think it was at Santa Maria High. So I haven't been back here to Rigetti in a while, and it just made me think the same year that we lose Irvin, I come back here to do a game at Rigetti. A little melancholy, but also celebratory. Because I remember working with him and just not sure what this guy was going to think of having the same partner, Brad Mumberto, for 10 plus years. Yeah, a lot of years.
Yeah.
Probably 15 years. And then they bring this woman in, and he could have been like, oh, gosh. It really did because of his grace. His grace. Because it wasn't that easy to infiltrate myself into the Hancock football program because it's a community college. It's got a lot of history, and it wasn't easy at the beginning. I'm not going to lie. But Irvin, in that part, made it easy. Now the other quarterback is in that we were talking about, Richie Colmenero the third.
The third.
Do we have to say the third every time?
Yeah, I think so.
Is that why they name their kids after themselves, so that you could say their name and like the second, the third, or the fourth every time?
Yes.
It'll be a fourth down. Makai Puga heading out for the punt return.
Minute 45 left on the clock.
Well, it's been a nice year. Thank you for coming in and taking over where Irvin left off. You were gracious doing that.
Well, it's been a pleasure. I'm honored to be able to sit next to you.
Sheesh. You're also the stadium announcer for Cal Poly football and Rio Grande High School football. And then you do Cal Poly softball. And then you and I kind of tag team on the softball and baseball at Hancock.
And I do men's and women's soccer at Cal Poly.
Oh, my goodness. You are busy.
And I have a photography business.
Sheesh. Who'd have thunk it? And you don't get to pick, which is so nice of you. You always just take all the softball and baseball games at Hancock that I can't do, which I appreciate. You're very flexible that way. Puga lets it roll, and it rolls out of bounds around the 30-yard line. It's been a fun year. It was a little bit of an off year just because of the loss of Irvin Kiger, but it was a fun year because it was exciting to watch Coach Aguilar bringing in some new systems and his energy to be the new head coach after the departure of Seth Damron in the summer, which was kind of quick. And he came in graciously and took over, and he did a great job.
Well, and this comes on the heels of a couple of weird years with all of the COVID and all of
and the conference turning into league games being 7 instead of 5, and Coach Aguilar really did a great job. Didn't change the coaching staff much at all.
There's a halfback. Pulled
you thought
back.
It was coming. You thought that John Allen was going to make a pass, didn't you?
We talked about it earlier.
A loss of a couple yards on the play. The time is ticking now under a minute.
And thank you to all of the people in the next booth who keep our statistics coming.
Eric Burdick today.
Eric Burdick today.
The retired communications director at Cal Poly. Shelby Scott, the communications director at Hancock, has been helpful all year. What a joy it's been to work with her the past few years since she came from Missouri. Ferrari Busby, a nice run and a Bulldog first down. When we came to Rigetti, though, we lost our spotter and we gained a wall. because we had a spotter, but there's no room for him in here. So the spotter's on the other side of the wall, so we haven't heard him. A long run by Anthony Tucker, and that will take us to the end of the game. The final score, San Diego Mesa College 42, Allen Hancock College 20. We will come back with your game statistics. You've been listening to the 2023 Strawberry Bowl at ahcbulldogs.com. Welcome back to Rigetti High School. The Strawberry Bowl final score 42-20, San Diego Mesa College with the win over the Bulldogs. And the awards are being given out by Kevin Walthers, the president of Allen Hancock College, on the field. And we will do our own awards here in the booth. Terry Veal, just give us some of the highlight stats.
Well, if you look at the stats, it shows a game that is much closer than what the scoreboard bears out. Total yards in rushing, 255 for Hancock, 205 for Mesa. Passing yards, Hancock 115, Mesa 161. Time of possession, 28 and a half, 27 and a half. San Diego had some big plays, had an 80-yard punt run back, and some timely penalties by Alan Hancock, but it looks like it's a closer game than it turned out on the scoreboard. Odom,
He just got player of the game.
as he should, 161 yards in passing, I'm sorry, and 131 yards in rushing. So 290 yards attributable to James Odom between passing and rushing.
Caden Harris didn't even play most of the fourth quarter. What were his numbers like?
Caden Harris had 14 runs, 152 yards, averaged almost 11 yards per game.
And 2 touchdowns?
2 touchdowns.
Well, Terry, it's been a year.
It has been a year.
Thank you so much, and thank you to Brian for being our technical director, and to Shelby for stats, along with Eric Burdick, Kim Ensing, the athletic director of Allen Hancock College.
And I hope I don't see you here next year. I hope you're in like St. Louis.
Some Major League Baseball stadium.
In a Major League Park.
And then you'll see me there.
And I want tickets.
You will get tickets. There will be a party when I get my Major League Baseball stadium job, but until then, I am happy to be the announcer for Allen Hancock College, the voice of the Bulldogs, as well as the stadium announcer for the Cal Poly Mustangs. It's been another great year, and I appreciate you and everyone's support with the passing of Irvin Kiger during the season. Wasn't easy, but with the family and community of Allen Hancock College athletics, it was a little bit easier to handle the loss of my 12-year partner and someone who's been at Allen Hancock College for nearly 30 years,
wow,
broadcasting baseball and football and basketball. I mean, there were times when they did all the games. And Irvin Kiger was a part of the family for longer than I was. And we will continue to celebrate him year after year. And thank you to Rigetti High School for hosting us for the Strawberry Bowl. And we appreciate all of you out there that were listening and watching the games all season long. And if I got your son or your brother or their name wrong, just send an email to Allen Hancock College and I'll get it right, because my heart is in the right place. Thanks again for being here with us for 6 football games this season, with our 5 home games and the Strawberry Bowl game, with the final score once again 42-20 San Diego Mesa College with the win. You've been listening to Bulldog Football for the 2023 season. For Terry Veal, I'm CJ Silas. Thank you for being a part of Bulldog Athletics at ahcbulldogs.com.